morning, more arrests in connection to a missing pregnant woman found dead.
Plus, Michigan State football gearing up to officially introduce its new head coach.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News this morning.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd. I'm Kirk Montgomery.
And I'm Megan Vaselli. Thanks for waking up with us. 6 News is here for you with this morning's top stories. But first, here's Katie with a quick check of your forecast.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We have some snow-covered roads in St. John's and all across mid-Michigan. Some snow moved through overnight, generally around the 1-inch mark or less in some spots, and all that's staying around because temperatures this morning have dropped down into the low 20s, seeing 22 in St. John's, some teen temperatures out there for other spots, and that is still with a few flurries hovering around. It's mostly cloudy though across most of the area, and we're going to be seeing very little sunshine in our forecast. I'll talk about the best day to get outside, this whole forecast coming up a little later on.
Later today, the mother and stepfather of Rebecca Park, the pregnant woman who went missing and was found dead last week, will make their first appearance in a northern Michigan courtroom.
The pair was arrested less than a week after Park's body was found in the woods without the baby she was close to delivering.
Park, who was 38 weeks pregnant at the time, was first reported as missing on November 4th in Wexford County near Cadillac. Her body was found 3 weeks later in Manistee National Forest, and her baby was nowhere to be found. Park's sister and fiance were taken into custody earlier last month and charged with multiple crimes, including tampering with evidence and lying to investigators. However, there is no information showing if the parents have yet been charged. Stay with 6 News for any updates.
This morning, we've learned the East Lansing Police Department has closed its investigation into the death of Megan Turner, whose body was found in the Red Cedar River. Back in October, the Canadian doctoral candidate who was studying at Michigan State University was found dead in the river just east of Cedar Village. Police say there was no evidence of foul play. However, the toxicology reports reveal Turner's blood alcohol level was 0.32. For context, that's 4 times the legal limit, with 0.30 considered to be life-threatening territory. Based on these findings, ELPD says its investigation has come to a close.
A Pontiac mother charged with abandoning her 3 children in what prosecutors call filthy conditions pleaded no contest during a court appearance and is now on probation. Kelly Bryant is accused of leaving her children by themselves in a condo for more than 3 years and was arrested in February. Bryant was back inside an Oakland County Circuit courtroom yesterday morning and was charged with 3 counts of child neglect, 3 counts of welfare fraud, and accused of defrauding welfare for nearly $30,000. The judge agreed to enter into a plea agreement for Bryant to serve probation and pay back restitution for the welfare benefits that were supposed to support her children. She is set to appear in court again on January 28th.
Happening today, Michigan State University will officially introduce Pat Fitzgerald as its new head football coach.
Now, this comes after MSU fired Jonathan Smith during just his 2nd season into his 7-year contract with the Spartans.
Fitzgerald served as Northwestern's head football coach for 17 years. During his tenure, he led the Wildcats to 5 AP Top 25 finishes, 10 bowl game appearances, and 110 wins, becoming the winningest head coach in program history. However, Fitzgerald was fired in 2023 amid a hazing scandal. The hire at Michigan State still requires approval from the Board of Trustees, which is set to meet a week from Friday.
Today, President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow, a sign the Trump administration is stepping up its diplomatic push to end the war in Ukraine.
As Bradley Blackburn reports, this comes as back in Washington, D.C., the president met with his national security team to talk about Venezuela and its recent drug boat strikes in the region.
President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner and U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff are set to meet Tuesday with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow.
I think that there's a good chance we can make a deal.
For months, President Trump has been working to broker an end to the fighting sparked by Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022.
Last month, we had 27,000 people killed in that ridiculous war that should have never happened.
While that diplomacy plays out, the Trump administration is stepping up U.S. military presence in the Caribbean, moving the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier to St. Thomas. This comes as one of the 21 drug boat strikes on suspected narco-terrorists is now under growing scrutiny. The Washington Post reported Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth gave an order to kill everybody on board before a vessel attack on September 2nd. When 2 people survived, the Post says the Special Operations Commander overseeing the attack ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions, and the 2 men were blown apart in the water. While Hegseth has denied he gave any such order, Democratic and Republican lawmakers are vowing to investigate.
There's a lack of clarity in what is a very significant military action.
We'll begin our oversight and get to the facts.
On Thursday, Navy Admiral Frank Mitch Bradley, who the White House said ordered the second strike, is expected to provide a classified briefing to lawmakers overseeing the military. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
U.S. air travelers who haven't upgraded to a real ID can still fly without one, but new this morning they'll face a $45 fee starting next year. The TSA says this will go into effect on February 1st. That's when flyers without a real ID, passport, or other acceptable form of ID will need to have their identities confirmed through a fee-based verification system. That process will vary from airport to airport, with the TSA saying it's working with private vendors to allow flyers to pay for the screening process before arriving for their flight.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather on the Sixes, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
It's looking a little icy on the roadways on the Capitol camera this morning. Seen some tire tracks that have cut through the snow that fell last night. But with the cold air hitting that wet pavement, it has created some icy spots, so be aware of that. We aren't the only ones that are below freezing. In fact, when you go coast to coast, you see that colder air really just taking over the map. Even Dallas, Texas is below freezing right now. They aren't seeing snow, but we certainly have been cold enough to have snow overnight. Now temperatures are settling down into the upper teens to low 20s. Seeing 16 there in Charlotte, 14 in Ionia. The temperature just updated to 18 in Coldwater. These temperatures are going to continue to drop off towards the end of this week. So these morning temps actually will look kind of toasty by then. As for what our radar shows, not doing much with our snow that's moved out. We do have a few lake effect flurries over towards the west coast, well, the west side of the state, that rather. We're going to be seeing our own chances for snow returning a little later on. So green pause for now. Tomorrow probably switching more towards yellow pause.
The west side of the state is getting hammered.
Ooh,
yeah. There's like a fire hose effect, and you see it with lake effect. Someone gets lucky or very unlucky, depending on what you like. But
Yeah.
when I
I
had
don't
the
miss driving on that.
I have a couple of webcams up from the ski hills up north. Oh, they're going nuts.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Katie.